Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Guess where we are tonight? Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights. My first time being here, and I'm inviting you. Well, what should they do? Should they come along?
Come along for the scares.
Come along for the scares.
Deepest, darkest thoughts. We know them. We ask you to lend them to us. We'll take very good care of them.
Headed to Monstorious, a 10-minute wait. First house of the night. Let's do this. First house through. Wasn't the scariest thing I've ever seen, but it was okay.
Emma got the scares behind you.
Yeah?
Yeah, they were missing you and hitting her.
Enjoyable. Let's go to the next. I have to admit, it is extremely busy at their Halloween event. But on to the next event or next house. I think it's the Quiet Place. Let's go in. For something called the Quiet Place house, it's awfully freaking loud here. So that's going to have all kinds of the demons up and about. Just went through the Quiet Place house. It wasn't a very quiet place, but it's enjoyable. I actually had a couple scares in that one. They have a lot of these kind of animatronics that pop out of their houses too, so they're nice. Second house in the books, called the Quiet Place. Anyway, enjoyed it. Really nice. Nice couple of animatronics jumped out. Got a couple scares in there. Not too intense. But our next house is going to be Ghostbusters. Let's go. Because who are we going to call? Terry Tracker. There you go. It is a sea of people. Ghostbusters in the books. I enjoyed that one.
It was good, but that's the third time I've went through that house, and I know there was two of the main effects that were broken on that one, or there was no scare actors to control them. And one of the best ones is obviously Slimer, and he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't lit up, he wasn't moving, and there wasn't a scare actor in him.
Yeah, the Slimer we walked by was dark. But I enjoyed that. That was a fun house. Not too scary, just right. Just the right amount of ooh. I was a little concerned about that one guy that had all those little baby marshmallows all over.
Yeah.
It's like,
Let's make s'mores.
How did that happen? He took some marshmallow to the face?
That's what she said.
Next house, Insidious. This is a 60-minute wait, but we'll see what it is with our passes at the Express Pass. Come along. Insidious, that was a good run through. Something kind of vomited in my face.
I saw that.
That was kind of gross, but I had a lot of scares in that one. So far, that's the best one. So far.
Squeal like a girl. I heard you.
Yeah, I do squeal like a girl. So Terry decided he wanted a trip to push me through Triplets of Terror. Terry just took me through Triplets of Terror. And the best,
starring the hacked girl.
yeah. Best part about that house was the aircon.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that scary. It was all right.
They killed a dog.
Yeah, they did kill the dog. I think this is house number 5. Is it house number 5?
6.
House number 6, the candy factory. I could use some chocolate. You know what would hit the spot? Some gummy nerds. You ever had those? Yeah, nerd clusters. Nerd clusters.
I've had nerds. I've had nerds, but I've never had gummy nerds.
It's a Nerds candy coating a gummy,
Right.
and I am addicted to those things.
I've never had any. Never heard of them. We don't have them back in the UK.
Oh, you're missing out. Well, I'm gonna have to find you some.
Yes.
Nerd clusters. Any flavor, doesn't matter. Yeah. Candy shop, wasn't worth the wait. We're gonna take a sneak peek at a scare zone. I don't know where scare zone this is, but let's find out. Oh, Blumhouse. Gonna hit 2 houses at once. Goblin Feast and External Bloodlines. You can see 75 minutes for one, 60-minute wait for the other. Hopefully our express pass makes it a little bit shorter than that. So the 2 houses are side by side, and we have some heat lightning in the background.
Evil lightning.
Can you see these lines? Terry was saying last time he went through this, it only took him 15 minutes to go through the line.
To both of them.
Through both of them.
That was to actually get through both houses and the lines.
Both
Using the
houses
express.
and the line using the express. So let me get you back in. There we go. There's Chris. So let's see how long this takes. I'm going to be optimistic and say 45 minutes per. We'll see. First one, external bloodlines, which is important to have so it's not incestual. People grow like third eyes and a 6-digit on one hand. That last house we went to through external bloodlines.
Eternal Bloodline.
Eternal bloodline.
Universal Monsters.
Yes, that was a fun house. I enjoyed that. We got a nice scare there at the end. I think I peed a little. Not gonna lie. May need to check my shorts. That was a good run through. Next house is Goblin Feast. Tonight we feast on goblin flesh and drink goblin blood. Think they'll have any ranch dressing to go with the goblin blood?
I think we're the feast.
Terry, what'd you think of Goblin Feast?
Meh.
Me?
Just meh. I think it's the worst house out of all 10.
I have to agree with you. That wasn't a very good house.
No. And that's the 3rd time I've went through it, and that's probably the worst run out of the 3 I've had as well. So,
yeah, it looks like they had some scare actors on break. There was a lot of empty holes and cubbies.
yes.
But where are you going?
Ooh, where you going?
There we go. But, you know, it's a haunted house.
Yeah.
Was that our 10th or 9th?
That's our 8th.
Our 8th.
Yes.
Okay. So 2 left.
2 left.
And I would have to say this is the worst out of all of them that we've done so far. My favorite, We'll have to come back to that. Do you have a favorite?
I do not.
Kristen, do you have a favorite? Ellie?
No? Any favorites?
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, it depends on the road.
Yeah, it depends on the run that you get through them.
Sometimes they're really good, other times
Tonight, how have the runs been for you? Have you enjoyed your runs? Next house, Slaughterhouse Cinema. Sorry. Showing a 60-minute wait. Last house of the night, Museum. Let's do that again. Deadly Exhibits. Last house of the night, Museum of Deadly Spirits. Hey Terry,
Yes.
is there a loop on this one?
Free.
Sweet. So the museum of whatever it was.
Museum. Deadly Exhibits.
Museum of Deadly Exhibits. It's very
Yeah. Yeah, that one's not a good one.
not really worth the wait in line. But,
No.
thank you for pushing me around, and I appreciate
That's
it.
fine. And that was the last house of the evening.
Yes, it was.
I think we've only got one scare zone or maybe two scare zones to walk through on the way out.
And then it'll be time to call it a night. So let's go through these scare zones. Get done. I think it's around midnight. Right. I'm just guessing. Let's head through the scare zones, and then we can call it a night. Because we've done our duty. We'll be able to go home and sleep well. So what's this scare zone called? Is this the swamp?
This is like a swamp one. I can't remember the name. I think it's Swamp of the Undead.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. Heading into another scare zone. Don't ask me what this one is. I don't know. Mel's Drive-In seems to be having some problems with its neon. It says die-in. Huh. Is that foreshadowing? Maybe. looking for their next victim. And with that, we complete my very first Universal Orlando Hollywood Horror Nights. It was interesting. I enjoyed it. A little pricey, but it wasn't too bad. I have to say that, you know, even though the houses were fun and the scare zones were fun, I think what's more fun is watching the people. There are some interesting people walking around the park, and that's probably the best part. I would not say that this is the best scary event I have ever been to. So far, I would say the best house I have been in was the Gamble over at SeaWorld Orlando.
Yes.
That was a fantastic house. These were okay, you know?
What I will say, this is probably our 5th or 6th time, something like that. And every time we come, it gradually gets less scary and more geared towards teens and younger kids. When we first started coming, 14 was like the cut-off. Now you see kids running around. It used to be, dare I say it, a little sexier, a little bit more adult.
A little risque.
Yeah, a little risque, and a lot more horror.
Yeah.
And it has really, it's been toned down. They've rubbed the edges off, if you like.
That's a good analogy. Yeah. I have to say, I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but you know, it's hyped up.
Someone's horny.
It's hyped up more by the local people,
Yes.
people who do YouTube,
Yes.
than what it actually is. You know, if you like horror house, scary houses, I almost said horror houses. If you like scary houses, you know, they're fun. They're go in there. Yeah, you'll have a good time. Get the express pass because you're going to be waiting an hour to 2 hours in line to go through these houses that may take you 5 minutes to go through. I know that's not worth it.
No.
So unless you know the slow nights and you can pick the slow night and go to that, yeah, that'd be fine. I would take my money over to SeaWorld Orlando
Yes.
and go to their houses for the price. There's fewer houses. I think there's only 6 houses.
Yes.
But the experience,
Better quality.
The experience was much better. The interaction with the scare actors is much better. Here, it's like a pre-recorded message
Yes.
where they're cued as far as when to react, but they don't actually talk to you or scream or anything. There's no back and forth at
Yeah.
all. Where at SeaWorld, you get that.
They respond to what you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a better.
They have a
interaction.
script, but it's actually the scare actors that are saying the script.
Yeah.
Here, it's a pre-recorded script, and the scare actors are miming it.
Yeah.
So if you try and say anything to them or whatever,
They're not going to respond
they
back.
just ignore you.
Yeah.
Point blank ignore you. At SeaWorld, they follow you along and they have that back and forth with you.
There's more interaction.
Yeah.
That we had a great experience buying adult beverages, talking to 2 people that were selling
Yeah,
blood
yeah.
bags and what was the other thing that they were selling? Jello shots.
Jello shots, and they became a subscriber of mine.
Yeah, and they were just fun to talk to. Here you go to get a drink. That'll be $12.50, please.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It never used to be like that. It used to be like what Howler Scream is now. Yeah. It used to be like that. Not anymore.
But if you want to people watch, this is a fantastic
Yeah.
place to people
Yeah.
watch. But thanks again for watching. If you want to support the channel, think about subscribing. There's also be a link down the bottom there that says buy me a coffee if you want to do that. Give it a thumbs up, click the link. Anyway, thanks again for watching.
And now for something completely different.
Good night.
Bye-bye.